My name is Marshall Miller, and I am a new creation. What my life looked like in a nutshell was just caged, really. I was just caged. I'd been going through 3 to 4 years worth of just brutal anxiety, just battles with depression and suicide at times. So it really was not a life at all. It was just being cooped up inside of my 4 walls. Didn't have any friends, didn't have anybody I regularly talked to, and just shouldered all of my own burdens, and that was it. Anything I could do to cope with anxiety and depression was what I did. There was times where it was, okay, let's try drinking. Does drinking work? No, that made it worse, so let's not do that. At times I considered whether drug use might be something to help. It's not worth losing the rest of my life over, or my finances and things. And I didn't really talk to friends about it because, growing up as a boy or a man, it's you're told not to talk about your feelings, and you just stuff them back down. And then, later getting into my military service, there's places you can talk about your feelings comfortably, and the military is not one of the places that you go and talk about your feelings. So, coming back out of the military too, it's kind of compounded that whatever it is that you're struggling with, you keep it pushed down. And so I did. I started going through, each consecutive day through December, it was more and more and more anxiety until I saw my Bible sitting on the nightstand. So what I did was, after looking at my Bible and realizing that I had not opened this Bible in about 17 years, wasn't really looking for anything specific, and I felt a bookmark that had been sitting there for at least 17 years. I look down, and the first words I see are, "In my distress, I cried to the Lord, and He heard me." It brought so much relief to me that my anxiety felt like it was lifted off of my shoulders immediately. I mean, I'd been running at 95, 98%, just high anxiety environment for all of December, and just for it to be lifted off of me like that was the point that was like, all right, I need to make some changes. The first change that I decide is that I need to stay in the Word. That is above all, because I started realizing the importance of it. I had reservations about getting back into church, but that changed one random Wednesday where after work I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go sit in on a Wednesday night Bible study somewhere, and grabbed my Bible, got in my truck, drove to that church, and their doors were closed. The only other place that I knew was the Met. And so I drive up Jones, go to the Met. As soon as I sit down, I'm reading what's on the screen is God is your champion, God is your counselor, God is your comforter. And it was just like everything that I had been living for the past month at that point is on screen in front of me. So I'm fighting back the tears, and it turns out at the end of that Bible study, the gentleman I sat next to was actually Christian Miller, one of the pastors, and he wasn't about to let me leave without a conversation. I think he saw that there was some things that needed to be talked about, and that was the next big turning point. I stepped in to help Christian Miller do a baptism service, and I was sitting there holding the towels for them as they're getting out of the tubs. I was thinking, man, I should do this. Now I actually know what this means, and I want to do that as soon as I can. I now have more friends than I thought I would ever have in the Houston area. I went from maybe 2 or 3 to I can't count how many anymore. Through church, through the Met, through fellowship, through small group, through volunteering, through meeting people, driving the golf carts around the parking lot, through greeting people at the doors, anything really. My anxiety has been the lowest it's been in the last 5-6 years, and it's approaching being non-existent.
What's right with your life?
What is right with my life? Well, the focusing on other people is probably where I've just spent so much time, and I would like to say that that is what's right with my life, is now paying attention to others and putting my heart in church.